Have you ever been on an innovation team struggling with prioritization, where to even start in the chaotic beginning of an opportunity? The challenge with scouting the unknown is that it involves taking subjective, leap of faith assumptions, which are susceptible to biases of the team making the leap, but more importantly, within enterprises, subjectivity puts innovators on shaky ground from a credibility standpoint. But what if there was a way to both temper the bias and use data to enhance credibility? Aloha, I'm Ralph Morales III. I've spent a career in innovation and finance with failures, successes, and shared experiences with innovation teams around the world. I help entrepreneurs discover and deliver the value from innovation. Today is the second of a four-part series on how to build credibility for an innovation discovery plan. Now, last time I put forward that a spectrum of knowledge, speculation, uncertainty, and known, is a common dimension for understanding prioritization. Today, I'll share my experience on how impact can be assessed to increase the credibility and prioritization. So let's take a dive in. Now, there are many popular prioritization frameworks, such as ICE and its slightly more elaborate brother, RICE, which are used in product management for feature priority. Or you can go Moscow, must, should, could, would, and there are many more. KJ, Kano, just depends on what school you attended. So impact as a axis for evaluating priority is not contested, but should, could, confidence, putting numbers on a qualitative subjective doesn't make it quant. So what we need is an irrefutable, quantifiable measure of impact for business. Now, the lingua franca of business is finance. You would want one common metric across opportunities to consistently measure impact. Now, a common financial metric in most enterprises might include revenue, profit, cash flow, net present value in their increasing rank of outcome credibility. The challenge with innovation is that it's hard to quantify the assumptions precisely for a financial model when faced with uncertainty. I mean, what do you put in cell C6 for price for a new product, for a new market that you're newly going into? What we need is a financial modeling approach that embraces uncertainty, yet allows understanding what drives magnitude in the creation of value under certainty. Many innovators aren't familiar with this, so let me share some skill building on how to do this. Since all the numbers and math and uncertainty analysis can be daunting, and pictures are worth 1,000 words, I'll start at the outcome and work backwards. The uncertainty sensitivity graph is casually known as a tornado diagram. Let me walk you through the interpretation. Remember those financial metrics I was mentioning? That, along with the team's likely case assumption, form the backbone of the diagram. Next come the bars on the tornado. The widths of these bars convey the amount of impact for the worst case and the best case assumption, and what effect it has on the metric of merit. Finally, the assumptions with the greatest impact go higher, and those with lower impact value drivers fall to the bottom, giving the analysis this tornado shape. The result is a compact executive summary of the uncertainty impact from the value capture model assumptions. This analysis can save teams from heated arguments over the correct assumption, especially if it's at the bottom of the tornado. Now that we know how the story ends, let me give you an example of how entrepreneurs can get there. Let's take market share in the example I gave from before. Recall that in the last segment, the team had serious speculation about market share. This value factor relates to our offering versus competitors. Now, in the best case, the advocates claim that we have patents, the solution's awesome, and it addresses all the pain points, not only at the point of public safety, but those around it. So in an oligopoly market, we rock and we'll get 45%. Now, the worst case assumption, the advocates claim, well, hold on now. There's prior art out there. There's also a whole bunch of companies going after everything around the body camera's activation. And that the associated equipment that needed to go on the belt might cause officers to push back on wearing it. So we use the worst case assumption of 10% in that case. The team kind of concluded the mid-band would probably be 25%. And so a team can wash, rinse, and repeat this discussion for all the value capture assumptions in the business model. So the next time you're in a heated discussion in a team meeting, gathering the opposing point and assumptions, and try this technique to settle uncertainty without subjectivity. We're halfway to the end of this video series on how to build a credible innovation plan. In my next installment, I'll introduce how these ignorance and impact spectrums come together to inform a course of action and drive credible prioritization. Post some comments on business issues that you're wrestling with, and we'll share some techniques to address those in the next video. Hover over the like button, but hit the applause, or leave a comment down below on your experience managing uncertain assumptions. Until then, mahalo for watching and stay skillful.